Ew, ew. Oh, nah, we got to change this. Nah. Uh, Grand Rising, good people. We're going to talk about it. What we talking about? Everything that y'all been sending me throughout the week. All right, let's get that rocking. Yeah, we got a good one. Where the tune? Where my tunes at? DJ, play me my theme music, Dion voice. Dope show for y'all today. Dope show. We're gonna get into a lot. Please make sure that you're sharing with a friend, sharing with an op, whoever. Just make sure that you're sharing. I'm gonna take a second to share myself. I think I put it up. And when you share it, so you could just go type, you could just press share, copy link, and then you could literally just put it on your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever you feel will get people interested to tap that link. So I got it up on mine. I play around with whether I put the video up. You know, I posted it on my story yesterday, so always just playing around, seeing what makes the most sense, seeing what allows me to communicate with y'all good people the best. Oh, LinkedIn was the one that I didn't put it up on. So we'll do that. We'll put that up. Takes 2 seconds, right? Takes 2 seconds to send to a friend. So please make sure that you do. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Appreciate y'all. We'll let the song rock out, get the room filled. Then, of course, we'll go over a little weather. I got some motivating words for y'all today. We're gonna talk about it. We talking about who's this chick? What's her name? Suki Hana, I think's her name. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about Kiki. We're gonna talk about this Carly Russell lady. We're gonna talk about some healthcare stuff. We're gonna talk about school and programming. We're gonna talk about using racism as an excuse. Everything. We're gonna talk about even my boy Jonah Hill's in the news. So let's one instrumental, just one play. All right, so it's make sure my mic is loud enough. Why does it sound like it's loud? Mic check, mic check. Do you hear me? Make sure that this is levels are good. Phantom power. Turn it up just a little bit. All right, there we go. Boom. Also my volume. Oh, my volume is down. All right, so let's get into it. First and foremost, let's get the weather. It's looking a little gray outside. Let's see what we got in Hackensack, New Jersey. Chance of light rain in the next hour. It looks like we are going to go up to 80% chance of thunderstorms. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at the thunderstorms. It's not like I'm going to the beach out here. First, matter of fact, what we need to be checking is the damn air quality. All right, so it's 65, moderate, went back down. Let me, I will be out in Miami soon. Miami, as soon as I go to an excessive heat warning until 8 p.m. Oh my God, Miami's beautiful today. It's going up to 92, nothing but sun. I will see you soon, Miami. Let's take a look at that air quality. Oh, wait, hold up. The air quality is worse in Miami. It's 68 in Miami. Hold on. Talking all that trash. It's 68 in Jersey. All right, Jersey. Air quality, all right. I don't know about how much I believe that. That may be a little mistake, but it is what it is. So, as we've been doing more and more, going to discuss with y'all, we'll read from y'all a couple pages from the book. Not even pages, but a couple phrases from this book that I've been reading. I've really been, just reading like a chapter or two a day. Like I said, a chapter is only 2 pages, so I've just been going through there. I bounce back and forth between a lot of books, but this book in particular, The Power of Awareness, one of them game changer books. And it was one of the books that was actually recommended to me by somebody. So that's the dope thing about books. You read one or you read a book and it kind of allows you to, I don't know, it's like different people come into my life where now it's like, oh, you should read this one. So maybe that's just, you got to read it first and be able to pass the game along. But y'all tell me if this sits with y'all. So this chapter is called All Things Are Possible. All things are possible. So whether you believe that all things are possible or not, you're right. Whether you believe that all things are possible or not, you're right. No matter what side you're on, especially when it comes to you as an individual. Whether we believe that we can do something, whether we believe that we are capable of doing something, that something is within our hands, it's up to us. If we believe that it's not, then obviously it won't be. But if we believe that it is, that can open up a lot of doors. So let's get into it. So all things are possible. Live your life in a sublime spirit of confidence and determination. Disregard appearances, conditions, in fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Disregard appearances, conditions, in fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Rest in the assumption that you are already what you want to be, for in that determined assumption, you and your infinite being are merged in creative unity. And with your infinite being, God, all things are possible. God, actually, wait, hold up. I'm reading the wrong one. We already did this one. My fault. My fault. My bad. My bad. But that's one that really sits with me. I think we already did that one. I was on the wrong page. But this next one is very similar. They all kind of carry the same feel and kind of one leads to the other. So the next chapter right after that, that's the one. It's called Be Ye Doers. So be ye doers. So let me bear with me. But hopefully you got some game from that last one, because that last one really hits me hard. The word in this quotation means idea, concept, or desire. You deceive yourself by hearing only when you expect your desire to be fulfilled through mere wishful thinking. You deceive yourself by hearing only when you expect your desire to be fulfilled through mere wishful thinking. Forgetting what manner of man you are is failing to persist in your assumption. Forgetting what manner of man you are is failing to persist in your assumption. The perfect law of liberty is the law which makes possible liberation from limitation. That is the law of assumption. The perfect law of liberty is the law which makes possible liberation from limitation. That is the law of assumption. To continue in the perfect law of liberty is to persist in the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. Like I said, very similar from the last quote that I read. You must be doers of the law of assumption, for without application, the most profound understanding will not produce any desired result. You must be doers of the law of assumption. So this, for me, I kind of was, as I'm reading it, I was going back and forth between, do they mean doers as in, not people that talk about stuff, but people that just do stuff? But they're actually tapping into, based on how I receive it, into you must embrace this law of assumption. You must embrace, like, that's what you must do. You must embrace that the fact that to continue in the perfect law of liberty is to persist in the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. We have to move as if everything that we're saying that we want to attain, everything that we desire, as if it's already fulfilled. And we're going to go into that because that's something that I kind of go back and forth with, which was hard for me to accept, just reading it once. But let me read this last phrase and then we'll talk about it a little more. The talent entrusted to you is the power to consciously determine your assumption. The talent not used, like the limb not exercised, withers and finally atrophies. What you must strive after is being. In order to do, it is necessary to be. The end of yearning is to be. Your concept of yourself can only be driven out of consciousness by another concept of yourself. Listen to that again. Your concept of yourself can only be driven out of consciousness by another concept of yourself. By creating an ideal in your mind, you can identify yourself with it until you become one and the same with the ideal, thereby transforming yourself into it. So by creating the ideal in your mind, you can identify yourself with it until you become one and the same with the ideal, thereby transforming yourself into it. What I hear when I'm saying those words and when I'm reading those words, what's speaking to me is having a standard. Is that when you're here, right? Say we're all right here, but our standard, our ideal we want to get to is up here. So if our standard and ideal is where we want to get to up here, then we have to see ourselves in this ideal standard. And the more we see ourselves and believe ourselves to be in that ideal standard and know ourselves to be in that standard, then we're going to move in a way that aligns with that standard and therefore brings those opportunities based on that standard rather than where we are, which is going to allow us to get to where we want to get to. So hopefully that makes sense. But it's not, I can't even front, when I'm actually reading it, I keep hearing fake it till you make it, like in a lot of these books. But I know that that's not what they're saying. They're not saying necessarily fake it till you make it. They're saying know it until you make it. Like, you have to know that you're great before the acknowledgement comes. Because if you know that you're great, then you're going to demand greatness from you. You're going to demand to move like somebody who looks at themselves as great would move. So that's the importance of standards. That's the importance of ideals when they're talking about it. And when I hear ideal in this book, I keep hearing standards. Like, be your ideal and believe that you are your ideal, embrace it. And once you embrace that, then the distance between where we are now and where our ideal is will start to shrink, because we'll work more and more towards that. So that's a little bit of a wake up, enlightenment. However, we're gonna go a few different places today, and I can't say that they're all enlightened places that will go. But throughout the week, and I appreciate y'all for always sending me good topics, good videos. And I've been saying this week, I'm just like, all right, maybe we could start waiting till Fridays, to where Friday we can just have, not random, I would say, but just different things that people are sending. So therefore we can review together, give our thoughts. And a lot of times these videos that are being sent, I feel that people are watching the show, so they're still in relation to a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about. So the first one that I want to get into was sent to me by my homegirl. And let me make sure that I wanted to show all my messages and stuff, All right, so we got that queued up. Let's get this shared. All right, so when we always talk about culture, right? We talk about culture a lot. Culture seems to always come up. Culture is what? Culture is what sets our standards. We're talking about standards and our ideals. Our culture has determined a lot of our ideals. And now I'm starting to think, as I'm going through all this, and hold up, oh my God. Even before, so as I'm having a conversation with y'all, I'm thinking about different stuff. And when I say that your culture is determined by, sets your ideals, And that's going to set, in a lot of ways, determine where you go, what direction. It's almost going to serve as a roadmap. And I'm showing y'all. All right, so there's this, who's this lady? Y'all know this lady named Sukihana? Sukihana. Hold on one second. So there's this lady named Sukihana. And Sukihana is, I don't even know who she is, but you'll see what she's doing in the video. But then it started to make me think just now that the ideals, wherever we are living in the space now, it's based on the ideals and standards that were set for us years ago. You get what I'm saying? So wherever we are now, we are in this place because of the ideals and the standards that we had set for us a long time ago. So with that, let me show y'all where we are now. And then if we can, we'll go back to some videos, because the videos weren't sent to me together, but I think they relate. Y'all tell me. So let's get into this.
In prison for life. And she's one of the people who claim that countries like America are so oppressive, yet this is the way that she conducts herself.
You'll see it.
I hate to say it, but white people never act this way. And yes, you have black women who are fighting for their lives to stop being associated with this kind of culture, but then Sukihana the Goat is so loud and so ghetto in using her platform to showcase the worst side of black culture.
I'm trying to get my coochie stretched. I'm trying to get my coochie stretched and eat a nigga ass. Eat a nigga ass. We be eating niggas ass today in London. Period, baby. I'm trying to get this coochie stretched.
If she behaved that way in Dubai, she would be in prison for life. And she's one of the people who claim that countries like America are so...
Yeah. We're going to listen to it again. These are the people that have influence. That's why I always say, like, there's a war going on. There's a war going on. And it's not just, we've heard the LGBTQ, I think we reviewed that video where they're coming out with their video saying, we're coming for your kids. Everybody's coming for your kids. Everybody. We're at war, and we need to, if we don't embrace the fact that we're at war with people that may not have the same moral compass as us, people who may not, have the same standards as us, we are at war with them. So listen to this video again, and then I want to just talk about it. I want to hear your thoughts.
Oppressive, yet this is the way that she conducts herself. I hate to say it, but white people never act this way. And yes, you have black women who are fighting for their lives to stop being associated with this kind of culture, but then Sukihana the Goat is so loud and so ghetto in using her platform to showcase the worst side of black culture.
I'm trying to get my coochie stretched. I'm trying to get my coochie stretched and eat a nigga ass. Eat a nigga ass. We be eating niggas ass today.
Look at the nice white folk next to them.
I'm trying to get this coochie stretched.
If she behaved that way in Dubai, she would be in...
Who even conducts themselves like that? Who even conducts themselves like that? Like, who really conducts themselves like that? Let me go to, and why I want to talk about that is because we had a conversation before where it was based on who holds who accountable in a lot of ways, right? Who holds who accountable? Who is supposed to hold this person accountable? Who is supposed to hold this type of person accountable? It's almost to the point where, but let's actually get into the video where I said that I thought it was interesting because somebody else sent me this video, and y'all tell me if the two correlate. Y'all tell me if the two correlate, and hopefully it'll just have to be the I don't want to show you the whole video, but I'm gonna show y'all what I thought about this. What are you gonna talk about? All right, let me get it in theater mode. So this is the Lil' Kim video. This is a Lil' Kim video. She was on a show where she was getting criticism. And is this where it all started? Because some people say, like, I was listening to a video by my boy Nihilus, shout out to Nitrous TV. And his entire argument was that people just replace each other. That we live in a society where they just, okay, we had Lil' Kim, then we replace it with Nicki Minaj, or you got this person Gaga, whoever, replacing Madonna, and all these different people just replacing different people that fulfill different roles. So let's check this one out. Let's check this one out.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that sexually explicit lyrics and provocative music videos, what do they do to you? Do they outrage you? Do they entice you maybe to buy more of that music? Well, you know, since Elvis Presley swiveled his hips, critics have said that sexy music damages our children. Some say that men have always exploited women through music like this, and that now even women are starting to exploit women. Today we're going to meet the artists who perform it, the DJs who play it, and the activists who, well, deplore it.
12-year-old girls listening, you can tell them all you want. Don't do it. If your mother's smoking cigarettes in front of the children are going to smoke the cigarettes.
We're going to meet Little Kim and ask her mom what she thinks of her daughter's sexy hardcore songs.
But sometimes I do say to her, you know, girl, I should have taken you to church more. You know?
But let's first meet two superstars of hip-hop. She exploded onto the music scene with Junior Mafia and now has a provocative top 20 solo album called Hardcore. And he is the CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment, making their first talk show debut, performing their top 10 hit, No Time. Please welcome Sean Puffy Combs and Little Kim.
All right, y'all get the point. We're not gonna watch that. As much as y'all may want to, we're not gonna watch that. The question is more so, is this where this stuff came from? And if we don't address our ideals and standards now, where's it gonna go to in the future? And who can, and as much as, you know, we'll hear different things about accountability, and y'all know that I'm on this real big kick where it's to the point where I'm just saying, like, yo, it's on fellas. It's on soft men, bad leadership. And even when I see Sukihana, I can't help but still think, like, yo, where's her father? But I'm more so doing that as a last resort. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm more so doing that as a last resort. You wanna know why? Because when you point out any criticism, or a lot of these conversations, when I point out certain criticisms with women and, you know, hold them accountable, there's always a lot of deflection. I'm being real. These are just the people that are in my life, totally understand it. But there's always a lot of deflection. So that's when I always say, like, yo, it's on us. And why I say it's on us is because we're the only ones that are going to be willing to change it. It needs strong male leadership willing to change it, because for this woman to be out here, why is she not being canceled? Why do we pick and choose who we cancel? How is she not? Her behavior is so offensive. It's encouraging and inviting, you know, bad behavior. Like the man said in that video on the talk show, that you can sit there and tell our kids, we can sit there and tell our kids not to listen to this, not to do that, not to do this. But at the end of the day, we have to protect them from a lot of these influences, because they are going to do what they see the most. And it is becoming overwhelming, the stuff that they're exposing to our kids and how it's going to impact them moving forward. So I just wanted to sit that there to kind of set the tone on stuff. But then I wanted to get into a couple of the other videos that were sent to me and just get y'all thoughts. This is one on a lot of the programming. And I want to know, this is something, the topic that we discussed. Kiki actually sent this one over. So I want to make sure that we talk about it. And it should be up right now. And y'all tell me, listen to it. Let me know what y'all think, because it's all programming, whether it's the Sukihana video, whether it's Lil Kim and the record labels putting out certain stuff. All of this stuff is programming. And we can choose to ignore it. We can choose to not address it. And it's like the conversation that I had with Rabbi Friedman, where Rabbi Friedman said, he said, most people, they don't really believe that they don't think that they have as much value. They don't think that they matter. So when people don't think that they matter, they don't think that their decisions in their day-to-day lives matter. Think about it like us, where it's like, me not watching this, or me not listening to this, me not supporting this, or me doing this, it's not going to make a large impact throughout. However, if we all embrace that particular mindset, then nothing will be done. And that is how we're able to be controlled how we are. So check out this video, and then y'all let me know y'all thoughts afterwards.
Control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own biological makeup so that they think that permanently altering their body is the answer to happiness. Require their daily attendance at an institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided. Make them attend that institution from age 5 until an adult and repeatedly test them on the information so that it becomes their truth. Give them an explanation to everything so that they never have a chance to make their own assumptions of the world. Scold them and humiliate them if they suggest an opinion that opposes that of their authorities. Keep reminding them of how cruel their ancestors were to each other in the past and broadcast how cruel they are to each other in the present. Only show them tragedies on the news so that they live in fear and think the worst of one another. Convince them that their species used to be that of an incognizant wild animal. Make them think that their very existence is so incredibly random that they lack purpose and struggle to make sense of a creator. Tell them that their kind is as smart as they've ever been so that they don't question the integrity of the system that they're in. Provide them idols with artificial beauty and use them as examples of what it is to look perfect so that they are never content with their own appearance and can't help but to compare themselves amongst each other. Create addictive digital platforms that rank them by numbers so that they base their self-worth off of the amount of followers. The best way to gain control of the most...
Yeah. I want us to go through that again. Damn near line for line. She is literally giving the blueprint is what has happened. And I hate to make these shows because I feel as if a lot of people say, oh no, that's just a conspiracy theory or none of this stuff really happens. No, this is really strategies that people are using to control us, to manipulate us, and to make sure that no matter what, they stay in the position that they're in. And to do that, what's the best way to do that? It's to make sure that everybody else beneath them stays beneath them. So let's kind of go through this a little bit. I'm going to go through it one more time, right? And I'm just going to pause it as we go through. I'm going to highlight certain
intelligent,
things.
powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves.
What do they mean by that?
The best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves.
How do you do that? The love that is within themselves. To me, I feel like that could be taken a few different ways. So removing the God from people, I think that's one way. But also when she says removing the love, when we walk around society right now, everybody's on pins and needles. Everybody, it's super divisive. There's so much hate, and hate. That hate that she's talking about, that's what allows people to control certain situations. When you hate something so much, you become so emotional and people are able to control us in different ways. So let's keep going.
As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own biological makeup so that they think that permanently altering their body is the answer.
Is that not what's happening right now? Let's keep going.
To happiness. Require their daily attendance at an institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided.
School. We talk about this all the time. I just tweeted something the other day saying how we learn the most meaningless things from the time that we enter the school system, primarily the public school system. Why are we learning all this stuff? Who determined that this curriculum would make sense for us to be in school from the time that we're 4 years old to the time that we're 18, 22, and beyond? Who determines this?
Make them attend that institution from age 5 until an adult and repeatedly test them on the information so that it becomes their truth.
So when we're in history class and we're taking a test on something and they ask a question about the history, I get it.
Give them an explanation to everything so that they never have a chance to make their own assumptions of the world. Scold them and humiliate them if they suggest an opinion that opposes that of their authorities.
Well, that seems like that's what we do in society. If somebody presents something that different than what we were taught, If I come in and I say, yo, what if, I don't know, I've been hearing that, a lot of us didn't come from Africa. A lot of us were already here. A lot of we had traveled back and forth between the Africas and the Americas for hundreds of years. We were already here, but because they had to, it's easier to convince somebody that you're taking something, or at least convince somebody that they come from somewhere else, then it's a lot easier to take their land from them.
Keep reminding them of how cruel their ancestors were to each other in the past, and broadcast how cruel they are to each other in the present.
That sounds like the liberal playbook right there, the Democrat playbook. Continue to talk about how brutal the relationships between whites and blacks were during slavery and beyond, and always continue showing that now. Continue showing that now.
Only show them tragedies on the news so that they live in fear and think the worst of one another. Convince them that their species used to be that of an incognizant wild animal. Make them think that their very existence is so incredibly random that they lack purpose and struggle to make sense of a creator. Tell them that their kind is as smart as they've ever been so that they don't question the integrity of the system that they're in.
Oh.
Provide them idols with artificial beauty and use them as examples of what it is to look perfect so that they are never content with their own appearance and can't help but to compare themselves amongst each other. Create addictive digital platforms that rank them by numbers so that they base their self-worth off of the amount of followers. The best way to gauge...
Yo, is she off? Y'all tell me, is she off? Everything that she just presented, is she off? And shout out to Kiki. Hold on. Let me get you up here, Kiki. Kiki wrote, I'm glad you showed this video. People will call me crazy for believing this stuff, but we're living in the Matrix. It's all facts. And I don't understand. I really don't understand what makes people want to call people crazy like that, Kiki. Is it just the fact that they don't want to take the time? Because it's almost as if, one, I don't want to take the time to research anything. And two, if I do find something that doesn't align with my sheepish mentality, then it's almost like I'm forcing myself to then make a decision to either keep going along with the ignorance or to do the work to maybe step outside your comfort zone and actually embrace a new way of thinking. Because when you embrace that new way of thinking, it may require some work with it. So it's as if I don't know, yo. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't want to understand. Like, I don't want to understand this, because this is not supposed to make sense. It's effective. I totally get how I can watch this video and understand exactly how to play-by-play, exactly what they're doing. However, I could never just go along with this type of stuff. I could never just embrace this. And then these are the very same people, like we know the playbook that they're using, but then when they actually use it, we still embrace it. We still will allow ourselves to get manipulated, get controlled, get swayed, get convinced that we can never be at this level because of all the stuff that happened hundreds of years ago. Yo, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but this just goes on to further explain the programming that we live under while we're in this country. It's all programming. I mean, y'all tell me, did she miss on anything? Anything that she said, could we not cite anything that she said, could we not cite real world examples from it? So it's not a conspiracy theory. This is stuff that's actually happening. And if we pay attention, it's been happening for a long time. Everything. So let's get on. Kiki, appreciate you sharing that one for us. That's definitely one that stands out, because it's like, yo, she's giving the whole damn play and we just ignoring it. Let me get this off the screen for a sec. And let's get to the next one. The next one, which one we gonna rock with now? We definitely gonna pop in with this. We gotta talk about this Carlee Russell. But first, Kiki, we need you to pull up for a sec Somebody go grab Keke Palmer real quick. We need Keke Palmer. We're going to talk about Keke Palmer, and then we're going to get into Jonah Hill, what happened with him and his ex-girlfriend. So Keke, if you're not familiar, obviously the situation happened with Usher to where Keke was dancing with Usher. Hold on, we got to get Keke. We got to get the real Keke in here. You know what I'm saying? The real Keke is in the chat with us. She's a part of the team. But Keke wrote, exactly, ignorance is bliss, and it's easier to believe the lies instead of expanding your mind. That's what we do. It's easy to believe the lies. Like how much, to me, it's being such a coward. It's being such a coward when you embrace the fact that, oh, well, I'd rather just not know. I'd rather just not know, so therefore I can't even be bothered. I'd rather just, oh, yeah, they said it was racism, so yeah, it's racism. That's why. That's what they said. So, yeah, it's racism. Until we decide to do independent investigation on our own, then we will never be able to shift our culture and to shift our ideals. Going back to that book, what did the Power of Awareness say? What did I say in the book? Or what did I read as far as ideals? We're going to, hold on. We got to read this part again. Is this the one? No, this is not the one. VA Builders. Okay. What you must strive after is being. In order to do what is necessary to be. The end of yearning is to be. Your concept of yourself can only be driven out of consciousness by another concept of yourself. By creating an ideal in your mind. By creating an ideal in your mind, you can identify yourself with it until you become one and the same with the ideal, thereby transforming yourself into it. This is what happens. We need to shift our ideals, and we can't shift our ideals. We can't shift our standards unless we're willing to do the research and not just embrace what's told to us. If we embrace everything that's given to us, then we're allowing other people to set our standards for ourselves, allowing other people to set our ideals for ourselves. And therefore, we're allowing other people to create our culture for us. And when other people create your culture for you, who do you think has your best interest? Other people in your culture or us? Whoever us is. Anybody. I don't care whether you're white, black, Asian, Indian, whatever you are. Would you just trust somebody else to just determine your culture? And it's so funny is just listening to the last video, based on the same people that want to scream victims and all this other stuff, why are you the same people? Like, if you're saying that these people are so bad, oh my God, they set up racism, all this other stuff. If you're saying that, then why would you trust these same people to create your ideals, to create your standards, and therefore control your culture? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. All right, so what did we say? We're going to get on to Keke and Palm and Jonah Hill. So if you're not familiar with the Keke situation, so Keke and Usher, Keke wore some revealing dress to the Usher concert. She was like kind of, I don't know, like dancing with him a little bit, but more so it was the outfit, I guess. And her boyfriend or her baby's father commented on Twitter, was like, "You're a mom." And then he wrote a post that I'll share with y'all. I think it's on the video. But just showing pretty much where, like, we live in a society where if you don't want your wife to go out there and show the world her body, then you're called a hater. Like, that's pretty much what it was, because he came out and said, like, yo, you shouldn't be wearing that. It's disrespectful to the family, to me as your man, all these different things. However, everybody called him a hater. So let's get into this Keke. And this is a short video. I kept it short. There was a longer one, but I really just wanted to keep a short one. Somebody else, the Angry Man, actually did a remix to it. But yeah, let's check it out. Let's check him out.
Girl, that song is trash, so I'ma have to pass. But you can tell the truth. We know that Usher hit that ass.
No booties matter. My son gave
I'm my own boss and I got my own cash. I don't need a nigga. All I need is a bag. I'm my own boss and I got my own cash. I don't need a nigga. All I need is a bag. And if you heard the first part, she's talking about her little booty her son gave her. But like, where are we? Where are we? And this is the same woman that was saying that, you know, her kid gave her so much confidence and stuff like that. But what is this confidence convincing us to do? What confidence to do what? Because all confidence isn't good. All confidence isn't good. Like, it can be delusion. If you're confident that you could jump off an 18-story building and fly, that may not be necessarily confidence. That's good. And shout out to my brother Queez. He said it's the same BS they continue to push. Why are all these celebrity women, like, why do they feel such a need to talk about how they don't need a nigga, they don't need a man? When the whole time you got somebody, a respectful man, in my opinion, it's Sierra did the same thing. This is for my girls that don't need it. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Russell Wilson changed your life, bro. Yeah, you was out here one of 10 with Future. Russell Wilson, his square ass, and I say square for a bunch of different reasons. He's corny for me, not for the same reasons that like people will call like a Michael B. Jordan corny. I don't think Michael B. Jordan corny at all. I think Russell's corny just for the way he moves, like how he just allow himself. He just be getting bullied and just taken advantage of, and just, I don't know. But that's just my opinion. I could be off. But like, why do these celebrity women feel the need to always come out and do it? The Gabrielles. Like, why do you feel the need to come out and do this shit? And here, Queen, this is what it comes down to. This is where I get lost in it. This is where I get lost in it. And I'm gonna explain it. The reason why I've been saying that it's all on men is because I really just don't think women care enough to even make a change. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that women care enough and will hold themselves accountable enough, hold themselves and the rest of, you know, the women accountable to actually changing any of this stuff. So therefore I just say, yo, it's on men. So I could either blame something, and literally this is my thought process. I could either blame something that I know is never going to change, or I could blame something else that may have something to do with it, but is more, a little bit outside, indirect. And I'm just going to blame that person because at least I think that that's our only hope. I don't think that women will call out this shit. Like, I don't think that enough women will. I'm being honest. Now, we could sit here and talk about all the reasons why. Oh, it's because men did this. It's because they didn't have a father. That may be right. That may be right. But at some point, if we're because this is what ends up happening, right? I can come on here and say like, yo, ladies, y'all got to call this shit out. But then we can get into the root of it and say, oh, well, it's because men didn't fulfill this role, didn't fulfill this. I get it. But then, okay, so if we're saying that it's on men and if we're saying that it's got to be on men to change it, when I address it, then you got to take heed. When I address it, you can't give me the response, well, why does this man always talking about women's issues? Why don't they just focus on the men? Nah, like, you can't have it both ways. Either you hold yourself accountable to it and don't put no blame on me, or if you're going to put the blame on me and hold me accountable to why you're moving in the way that you're moving, then you also got to take heed to the leadership that I'm now putting down and saying like, yo, we ain't doing that. I'm calling this out. You can't have it both ways. It just doesn't make any sense. But that's the circle, the hamster wheel that we keep finding ourselves on. But if men do, we are hated. If men move like this, bro, everything, you can call a man anything. You can criticize a man, however, one criticism of a woman, and it seems like it's just an issue. It's just an issue. Here go a man always on women's business trying to control it. Exactly. That's what happens. So you can't, either y'all go to, all right, so ladies, I think Kiki's in the chat. Kiki, and I don't think, and Kiki, I hate always asking Kiki stuff because I don't think Kiki moves like this or anything like that. I think Kiki one of the good ones. Kiki one of the good ones. But I gotta ask just for a perspective, because it's like, who are we expecting to make this change? Because you can't blame if we blame somebody for being in the position that we're in, we're putting the blame on them, right? But then when they actually make certain decisions, like, all right, you blame me, I take this one. I was messing up. Now let me get on let me embrace, this leadership role that you're saying that I did not take on seriously, that I was lacking in, and I wasn't guiding us the right way. Now I got it. But then it's like, oh, nah, you can't. It's like, we can't have it both ways. This is ridiculous. Like, listen to this video again. Like, what are you talking about? Listen to it again.
Girl, that song is trash, so I'ma have to pass. But you can tell the truth. We know that Usher hit that ass.
I'm not saying that at all.
Matter. My son gave me some ass. I'm my own boss and I got my own cash. I don't need a nigga, only thing I need a bag.
Girl, like, who? I don't know. Mistake me if I'm wrong. I don't really know much about Keke Palmer. Did she all of a sudden just get on this, like, on this wave? I don't know her. I've never listened to her music. I think she was on Disney. I don't know much about her at all. But it just seems like they get into this position where it's like everybody grows up wanting to be something else so bad. Like, everybody grows up wanting to be something else so bad and to fit into a particular category rather than just be themselves. Everybody just wants to grow up and just, I don't know. And maybe it's the validation. Maybe that's what happens with Instagram, when the lady earlier was talking about creating this system. Because if they already have a system that works where we know that, okay, people are going to get certain attention if they act this way, if they fit into this category, then people would rather I'm just going to fit in that category. They're going to pay me a bag for that category, rather than just create something on your own. Create your own way. Go about it yourself. Like, who's putting this handbook together to where, women get into their 30s and 40s and then just gotta just be so sexual, like so angry as far as not having I don't need no nigga, all I need is a bag. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. And what you're doing is you're now teaching that to the young girls and to the young boys. You're teaching it to both. And now you had the ability to learn, to go through your childhood in a certain way. However, obviously you had certain influences, but now you're influencing the young girls to think this way at a young age. And then we get mad, and then we act like we don't understand when everything is just, how can I put this without, it is. We get mad when, all right, so these are the thoughts that are going in my head. Everything's talked about money. It's like you're comparing what a dude brings to the table with money, as if that's the value that we bring to the table. Money here, I got my own bag. I don't need a nigga. Okay, cool. But then when dudes actually embrace that way of thinking, or come to you as just like, yo, I'm just here to, hey, I spend this amount. You can be bought. That's what it gives, that you can be bought. With a certain amount of money, you can be bought. Now, I don't know if that's the energy that a lot of women are trying to embrace, but that's what it gives. It's like you can be bought. Everything's just a price tag. Everything's just about money. That's the only value that a man can bring. So therefore, based on this amount, then I need this type of woman. I need this. But then we get mad when everything is like that. So I don't know. Let's get on to the next video. I wanted to share with y'all this one on Jonah Hill, because Jonah Hill, he was going back and forth. His girlfriend, I guess, she put out some old text messages. So she put out some old text messages that I guess she was trying to get to expose him. I think Jonah Hill's in his relationship now. I think he's got a kid, and now his ex is coming to, how that go. But let's get into it. Is it up on the screen?
Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend Sarah Brady has taken to social media to share her experience of dating the actor and alleges that the actor behaved in misogynistic and narcissistic ways. It started with posts shared to her Instagram feed with the caption, "Reviving a pic I took down by request of a misogynist narcissist." She then shared a
Hold up. Let me go through it once. Yeah, I'll let y'all watch it once.
number of Instagram stories with screenshots and messages shared between the two. There is a whole bunch of them, but if you want to read this, go ahead and pause here. I'm just sharing
Don't trip. After I'm gonna go through it and read it. So don't.
the story sporadically here. However, throughout a lot of the messages, he does complain about pictures on her Instagram account as well as her life as a surfer. Sarah Brady and Jonah Hill were first linked together back in 2021 before splitting in 2022. Throughout their relationship, Sarah Brady stayed pretty quiet on social media. Following their breakup, Jonah Hill was linked to Olivia Miller, who is his new girlfriend, who have since welcomed a child in June and have even sparked engagement rumors.
Now can I go through it and make some? Can I pause it? Make sure y'all hear everything. All right, thank you. All right, let's go.
Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend Sarah Brady has taken to social media to share her experience of dating the actor and alleges that the actor behaved in misogynistic and narcissistic.
Let's stop right there. Why does every single, why is that the go-to? It seems as if for every woman that breaks up with a guy, or every woman that's dating a guy that has an issue, literally talk to your homegirls. Talk to your homegirls. Ask your homegirls why their last relationship didn't work out. Oh my God, he was misogynistic and he was a narcissist. Literally, yo, that's like the go-to. It's like, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. Because you want to know why? Because they spread it out so much and they use it so much, it honestly waters down the actual meaning. And this is what I was talking about the other day. We live in a world where everybody can be a psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, counselor. Everybody can identify mental health issues like a narcissist, say it, and then make these claims where, oh, he's misogynist, all these different things. We can throw out these labels. We can throw out these labels. But when it comes to certain other things, like a woman deciding to change her body in one of the most dangerous surgeries ever, right now, one of the most dangerous surgeries ever, those BBLs, we don't even look at that as mental health, where we're allowing kids to mutate different body parts, convincing them that they're girls and all this other stuff, but none of it gets identified as mental health. But literally any and everybody, reach out to some of your homegirls. And like I said, it's the programming. Why does nobody even knew what the word misogynistic or the word narcissist, nobody even knew these terms. Nobody even knew these terms 5 years ago. Definitely not 10 years ago. But now it's just thrown out as if, I don't know, as if you're saying like, oh, that person's cool. No, that person's misogynist. It's the new asshole, right? No, that person, like, are they an asshole or are they misogynist or are they a narcissist? Like what? Everybody just goes with the flow. Everybody just takes on these terms and everybody just embraces them. Even though, hold on. Oh, shout out my girl, E. Shout out to E in the building. And we got something dope coming your way. That's the only verbiage they know. It's a fact. That's the only verbiage. It's like, yo, yeah, this person is narcissist and whatever. All right, let's keep going through the video. And yo, y'all better pay attention to what E and I got cooking. So it's definitely something dope coming your way.
Ways. It started with posts shared to her Instagram feed with the caption, "Reviving a pic I took down by request of a misogynist narcissist." She then shared a number.
All right, so let me read y'all this. Let me bring my computer real close. All right, so plain and simple. If you need, so I guess she's saying that this is what Jonah sent to her. If you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself. So he's given a list. He's saying if you need all these things, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past, beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for a romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the way these actions happen. I can't really read the rest. All right, so what's misogynistic about that? What's narcissist about that? He's actually looking out for your best. And he's saying, like, yo, if these things are what you need, no hard feelings. However, that's just not necessarily what I'm looking for. Right? Like, now somebody who's described as a misogynist and narcissist, in my opinion, wouldn't have this type of tone. It would just be like, listen, you're going to do what I said you're going to do because I said it. And that's what it is. And there's no other option. No, he's saying, like, yo, if you need these things, if they're important for you, then, and they make you happy, then you should embrace them. However, I just don't necessarily want to be a part of it. What's wrong with that? Somebody tell me, am I off in my thinking with that? Am I off in my thinking with that? And let me get the comments up too. E wrote, followers follow. That's a fact. Queez wrote, if you didn't like it, you could have just bounced. Facts. Kiki wrote, he stated his boundaries. She can either get with the program or keep it pushing. Word. Like, Queez wrote, he cannot stand this. I don't get where we are right now to where somebody cannot, like, somebody just has to accept everything. So the very people that just have to accept everything, like, so let's say in this case, Jonah has to accept everything. However, his ex-girlfriend, she doesn't have to accept everything. She doesn't have to accept, so he has to accept the things that she loves and likes, but she doesn't have to accept based on what he loves and likes. Let's keep going.
Number of Instagram stories with screenshots and messages shared between the two. There is a whole bunch of them, but if you want to read this, go ahead and pause here. I'm just sharing the story sporadically here. All
right, so this is the next one. Jonah wrote, oh, in modeling, which is the last profession I would be with as a partner. And then she wrote, quote unquote, thought pics. I don't know why she wrote that. Maybe he referred to it, but we can't assume that. We didn't see it. But LOL, must be hard. Jonah wrote, but LOL, must be hard feeling so trapped. And then she wrote, well, maybe you should have asked me more about what I do for work before you decided to date me then. A little late now. That's a fair statement. I can't even front. That's a fair statement. It is what it is. That's a fair statement. And I don't know whether he did or he didn't, but if it happened like that, that's a fair statement. So then Jonah wrote, keep taking me for granted. Go model. It's a fulfilling life. You'll love it. I think you'll love it. Yo. He tried it. Real depth and substance. And I got my computer so far back. Real depth and substance and sustainability for relationships. But actually, I don't with this. You can't really see it anymore. The rest of the combo. Yo, either way, he's telling it what it is. Apparently, according to her, it may have been a little late, but that stuff needs to be addressed. And matter of fact, Kiki, this is the perfect time. All right, yo, this is the perfect time. Kiki, should I show them the contract? Should I show them? All right, so hold on. Let me read what E wrote. Because E wrote, my fault. Y'all looking at me like, damn, this dude can't read. The computer's just so far away. But E wrote, she knew who Jonah was throughout the relationship. Once it was over, she wanted to call him these names due to him setting boundaries, which are not crazy. I get it, but she has a choice and was given. Facts, we all got choices. He said nothing wrong. That's a fact. And E wrote, right, he wasn't being controlled in any manner. He stated what he wanted, and she can decide and has to take a look in the mirror and see herself. Yo, Kiki, it's time. It is time. Yo, hold up. I gotta pull up this contract. All right. So a while ago, we talked about us having contracts. We about to make a little pivot. All right. We about to make a little pivot. We talked about this contract that I was working on, and it's a courting contract. It's for courting. All right, no dating, just courting. And y'all tell me, I just, it was more so I put it together, got some feedback. Kiki was one of the people that I got feedback from. Kiki, I actually have to add what you mentioned as far as, hold up, we're going to add it right now. Or close. All right, there we go. All right, so just added Kiki, what Kiki's feedback was, and not just that one, but all right. So we're about to show this. We're about to show this contract for y'all. Let me see if I can share this. Share screen, window, and we're gonna go through this. I think I got it. Wait, is it going? Hold on. It's saying Chrome doesn't have permission. Oh no, we're gonna grant permission. Y'all gonna have to, we giving it a sec. Hold on. I gotta get y'all this. I gotta get y'all this work. Hold on. Window. It says follow these steps. Hold on. I gotta get y'all this. Wait. What that's about. Damn. Hold on. You know how I can do it, Kiki? I can share it as a picture. Y'all just bear with me for a sec because we got to go through this contract. This is not what we was expecting to do. However, we got to throw it up there. And all right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to screenshot it. I'm going to screenshot both pages. Screenshot, then upload. Right? We got to pivot. You got to know how to pivot in this game, baby. Save to photos. Boom, got one. Yo, and y'all, while I'm doing this, what are you thinking as far as like a contract? Like, is this something that you'd be open to? If somebody came and let's say maybe not on the first date. But hold on. Matter of fact, Kiki, let me finish the video, and then by that time we'll put it up.
Here, however, throughout a lot of the messages, he does complain about pictures on her Instagram account as well as her life as a surfer. Sarah Brady and Jonah Hill were first linked together back in 2021 before splitting in 2022. Throughout their relationship, Sarah Brady stayed pretty quiet on social media. Following their breakup, Jonah Hill was linked to Olivia Miller, who is his new girlfriend, who have since welcomed a child in June.
All right, we got through all that. That is what it is. We move. Sorry, Jonah, but we moving on to something more important. All right, so now I believe these photos just pulled. They just came through. Oh, I need y'all to see this because I want to know if I'm tripping. Or not. So let me open these downloads. Hold up. Why is this folder not open? We're gonna find. Got it. Hold on. Recents. Where are these photos? I just think about these things. Hold on, bear with me. Airdrop. Okay, got them right here. We're gonna share this. So, like I was saying, would y'all be open? To this type of scenario, to where you go on a couple dates, all right? You go on a couple dates, and then, you maybe on the second one, you kind of say like, hey, I got something that I think, would be dope for you to kind of take a look at. And now it says that Chrome doesn't have permission to look at either one. All right, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll go through some of the. I'll go through it without even having it. So, for the contract, we're gonna go through it a little bit. Would you be open? Hold on, Kiki wrote, and I want to know if it's too masculine for the female to be the one who presents it. I'm about to start passing them out like you get a car too, and may the best person win. Yo, facts, yo. Yo, for real, that's another question. All right, so the contract pretty much goes through different sections, and I'm looking at it. I'm sorry y'all can't see it, but I don't know what else. I don't know how else to present it. I don't know how else to get it. Like, could I email it to myself? I don't know. So here we are. But the courting contract, it starts off professionally, professional goals, romantic, personal, health and wellness, parenting, spirituality, and religion, and then the overall marriage. So professionally, and keep in mind Kiki's question, because Kiki wants to know, like, is it too masculine for a woman to present this? And just does a man have to? Because it's kind of taking that initiative to say, like, yo, you know, this is something that's important, whatever. So professional, income. I gotta show y'all this. I can't just go through it like this. Nah, hold up. We got to figure out a way. Can I just copy and paste this whole thing in the comments? No. Yo, where's the computer people at? Somebody help me. I got to get this screen up. How can I do it on it? I know how. I'm going to email it to myself. I promise y'all, just bear with me. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it, yo. It'll be worth it. All right, Outlook. I'm going to send it to myself. And I should be able to then share my inbox, the screen like that. So we should be good to go. All right, let me send it to myself. Share. Send a copy. Email attachment. All right, so I got my. Bear with me. Yeah. So, how would y'all feel if somebody whipped out a contract in front of y'all and said, like, "Yo, how do you feel about this?" To me, it gets a lot of the small stuff out the way. It gets a lot of the BS out the way. Like, yo, we're not going to be going back and forth. It just may not be the right fit. That to me what it is. It sets the tone from the jump, and it lets it be known, like, yo, we just may not be the right fit. You know, not to say that anybody's bad, but at least we know moving forward, this just ain't it. I'm shutting down. Hold on. Yo, this is what happens when you got so many damn videos on your computer. There was a problem. Yeah, no shit, there was a problem. Let me send it. All right, so I got it on my Gmail. Hold on. I'm gonna send it to myself. I'm gonna attach this. Y'all got it. Like I said, my bad. This was not the plan, but it is what it is. We're here. All right, let me get this courting contract up and running. All right. I think I got it. All right, download, send this message without a subject. Yeah, just send it. All right, so let me pull it up right here. Sent courting contract. I think I'm good. Hold on. Let me see if I can share it. I think we're good. Oh. Bro, come on. You got to improvise, yo. We good. You feel me? All right, so let's get into it. Yo, Queen said you probably lose people handing them a contract. Facts. You probably will lose people just handing them a contract. And maybe that could save you a couple years. That may be able to save us a couple years. And it's definitely going to take maturity, as Queen's pointed out. But let's go through it. All right, I'm in. All right, so it starts off professionally. So imagine you're sitting down at the table. You know, you're having a little, maybe having a little drink. First time y'all went out, you may have sat at the bar or whatever, just kicked it. Next time, you may have been in a booth. I don't know, whatever. This is for the booth. Or you can do it at the bar, I guess. I don't know if you want to whip out, certain stuff at the bar. And this could also just be very conversationally the first time but shit, why not? Just give them the writing, make them fill it out on the spot. But income, desired amount for each person. Why is this important? We need to understand what we are desiring in our significant other in a lot of areas, and income is one of them. They say that, not they say, I believe that the stats show that money is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, determining factor in divorces. The money. The money. It is what it is. I need to understand, what are the expectations that you have for me in this relationship, as far as how much I need to be providing, and what are the expectations that I have for you? Because if we're not on the same page with that, then we'll always have I may not know what you're expecting out of me, so therefore I may put less time into my work and more time into other things. But if this is what you're desiring me to make, and this is one of the things at the top of the priority list, then I need to have an understanding. If I don't have any expectation in my wife working, or if I do have an expectation in my wife working and bringing in money, then that needs to be clear. It's not wrong or right as far as an amount. It's just, hey, let's just be clear and have an understanding. The next thing is career. What type of career are each of us pursuing in your eyes? And this is just this is just a question as far as, you're not saying like you're pursuing this career, but just as far as, to get an understanding of what type of career. Just like with the Jonah Hill situation, it could be even worse. It could be a stripper, or it could be a certain situation, a career like she has, where it's a model, where you may be around different men, where it may be in settings that you're not comfortable with, whatever it may be. Your man may be out late and just around different women that you may not be comfortable with. Whatever it may be, it's important for us to address it. Queens wrote this shit like the draw 4 card. All right, so let's keep going. So then you get into the time commitment for work. Why is this important? I need to understand how much time you're designated to your job, because anytime, it's all a pie, right? All of this is a pie. So we can't add to the pie. We just got to cut it up in different ways. It's 100%, right? We just need to cut it up. So if I'm applying or effort to this area and taking away a lot of time for this, then it may neglect me in other areas. But we just have to have that understanding. Who is expected to take the lead in this overall category? The man, your husband or your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is. That's, like I said, there's no right or wrong answers. I have my opinion on what I think would work best for me, but there's no right or wrong answers to this. It's just y'all both getting an understanding. So therefore you can determine hey, is this a fit, or is this something maybe not? Or if there's certain things that we're both willing to work, whatever it may be. All right. Sex, another important thing. How often per week? Who do you prefer initiates these? All these are just real questions that need to be asked. I feel like a lot of times these aren't addressed, and then you can go on in a relationship and then there be no clear understanding, or somebody who may used to initiate it and want it more then doesn't want it now. So what do you do? What do you do? Shoot, because if I was making a certain amount of money and now I'm not making as much, you may have, you may feel some type of way toward that. So let's keep that same energy, you heard? And it goes both ways. Dates, that's something important, I believe. A lot of times we get in relationships and we start neglecting our actual dating, the dating aspect of it, to where it's hey, I still need to be dating this person. I can't just get the person. I can't just treat them a certain type of way throughout this courting process, not dating or whatever, this courting process. And then once I get her, oh yeah, I'm not applying any effort. I'm not showing any effort. That's not right. You feel me? That's not right for women or men. So I think it's just a nice thing to, always, even in the mindset, you have a significant other, just to try to keep dating them, to keep things exciting. And I'm no relationship guru. This is just my opinions. So shoot, I could probably, and a lot of us, we can all give good advice. Shit, I can give good advice with the best of them. I think most of us can. It's just us taking our own advice. I know I struggle in that, and I'm sure well, maybe y'all don't. I don't know. Personal cleaning. What percentage of the cleaning responsibilities for each person? We need to know. We need to know. Time commitment for being home. We talked about that a little bit earlier with the job. Social media. How important is social media to you? Will you have a social media? How much time do you expect to be on social media? You see, these are things that we may not bring up, and what's so funny about it is we've probably never even asked ourselves these questions. So even if we're just now taking the time to ask ourselves these questions, it's gonna like check us on a lot of this stuff where it's like, damn, like how much time am I expecting, to be on social media? How much time am I spending on it now? Well, shit, if I didn't, maybe if I took away a little bit of time from that, I'd be able to. So it's good for us to ask these questions to ourselves anyway. Family and friends. What time commitment do you have to your family? You get into some situations where it's like, shorty, you spending too much time with your damn family. Like, I ain't know that, like, I'm in a relationship with you or your family, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be. It may be cool. Like, yo, I like the fact that you have a big time commitment. What type of commitment do you have to your friends? Are you the type that you going out with your friends every day? You got to be the person that's, keeping the friendships going and all this other stuff? Or are you the type of person where it's like, yo, I'm not really tripping over my friends. I see them when I see them, but my main obligation is my man and my relationship, my woman and my relationship. How do you see this commitment factoring into your potential relationship? And I'm gonna stop for a sec because let me just read a couple comments. E-Row, dating is a must. Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. That's why it's good that you're here, because you can kind of give your insight as well. Somebody who's actually in that situation. And E-Row, you'll be surprised how many people forget that. Yeah, it's something that, it can't just be forgotten. You know what I mean? It can't just be forgotten. Roles are designated to abilities. Whew. Whew. E, you gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get in trouble, but I love what you're saying. I'm joking around saying you're gonna get in trouble because then they're gonna say, we all have the ability to do it, right? Going back to the last conversation, people really feel that, like, based on the last show, what were we talking about? This woman telling me that men and women aren't different. This woman really trying to convince me that men and women are different, that roles are not important. E, I may have told you about this story that I've gotten this back and forth with this lady trying to tell me that role. She's one of these strong, super, thinks she can outlift probably a guy and all this other stuff, thinks that, men and women are the same. And no, we're not. It's not even close. It's not even close. And what you just described is perfect right there. Balance is key. Balance is key. And even if somebody, let's say somebody in the relationship wants to pursue something that somebody else may have a stronger ability to do, stronger natural ability. I don't know. Maybe they're just better at it. I don't know. But if the other person still wants to pursue it, then I'm not here to say, yo, don't do that. Don't do this, do this. It's just good when the two people that are in the relationship have an understanding, because that way you could just work it out. Whatever works best for y'all, that's what works best. Yo, rock out. All right. So it's not about determining this is wrong in the relationship, this is right. This is just about expressing and understanding what the other is expecting, managing expectations, right? Health and wellness, fitness. How often are you expected to exercise? What weight range are you expected to stay at? That's men and women. All right, important things. We see a lot of times, somebody will fall off a little bit or a lot of bit, and if you're not keeping yourself up as a man and a woman, if I'm not keeping myself up to look attractive, to move in a certain way, then can I really be upset if now my wife, my girlfriend is not as attracted to me? And when that, it's a domino effect. When she's not as attracted to me, now she open to other. So all these different things, yo, stay on point. Stay on point. Stay on point. And we're not saying, oh, you gained weight. You had a baby 2 weeks ago. Why are you not back to your normal? Nah, come on now. You gotta be realistic. But like I said, this is just for you too. If that's the standard that y'all set and y'all agree upon, then that's y'all. Cooking and nutrition. What type of diet limitations or restrictions do you expect? E, more. Y'all gonna learn more about E when it comes to eating. Like, making sure that we're putting the right stuff in our body. Like, we need to be on the same page as that. We need to be on the same page. And the last question that you'll see is who is expected to take the lead in this overall category. That's important. And right above that, we talk about therapy. What type of therapy are you open to? Me personally, if I was answering the question, I'd be like, yo, I'm not into all the professional stuff, but I'm more so into embracing like our families, people that we trust, that we love, care about, them being able to learn from their experiences, I should say. I'm very much into that part of therapy, having a brotherhood, you know, somebody that I look up to, us being able to share those conversations of what they're going through and what I may be going through. I'm very much big on the family, and I guess you could say family and friends, but the friends that we call family. I'm big on that type of therapy. I'm big on learning from other people, but I'm not big on the professional groups. I'm just not, you know, I mean, that's just my opinion. But hey, other people, like I said, there's no right or wrong. It's just figuring out what works best. Parenting, children's care. What percentage of care is provided by each person? Who is expected to take the lead in this area? Spirituality and religion. What spiritual religious groups, if any, do you belong to? Are you open to having different spiritualities, religions with your significant other? Who is expected to take the lead in this area? And the marriage, would you like to be married? If so, what is your timeline? Do you want to open marriage? Do you want to close marriage? Shout out to Kiki. She said, you got to throw that in there because you know how people moving these days. And I'm glad that I left I'm glad that we left balance is key from E on the screen, because I think it all comes down to that. Just if I was, you know, giving my feedback on the overall agreement, relationships overall, I think life just comes down to balance. Balance and understanding. So it's like we have our balance, and then we also have the understanding. And I think the balance comes from the understanding. They work simultaneously. So it's I don't know what y'all think. Like, could y'all just give somebody this contract? Do you think that maybe it's a good, I don't want to ruin any relationships. I hopefully just want to help relationships, but maybe it's a good thing even for if you're in a relationship to kind of go through this, to maybe do it on like a, you know how you get your yearly physical? Well, we're supposed to get a yearly physical. Us fellas, we need to step that up. I don't know last time I had a physical. But that's bad. I need to get a physical. But is this just like a yearly thing to where we just keep kind of checking it? Because things could change, right? It's okay if, hey, this is where we initially were, you know, this is what we're moving towards. These are our standards, but you know, you may need to adjust, but it needs to, like anything else, the more that you can discuss and get that level of understanding for why things are adjusted, to me, it's going to put us in a better position to have a successful relationship. So that's the courting contract. I know we went on a little bit of a tangent with that. Let me shout out to my brother Ant. He in the building. He said, I think it's a good conversation starter. I don't know how it will go over if you hand it to someone, LOL. Yo, maybe just treat it like on some Steve Harvey shit. How Steve Harvey with the movie, what is it? Act like a lady, think like a man. You know, they memorize these questions, and that was them. That was the ladies pushing it on them, right? So now, fellas, yo, we got ours too. You know what I'm saying? We got ours to bring to the table. Actually, let's talk. What are your long-term goals? Like, sweetheart, like I need to know. So I don't know. I think that neither here nor there. Y'all take it or leave it. If it helps, it helps. If not, then throw it away. But there's a couple eyes, so we got to get through. There's a couple other videos that I wanted to share with y'all. One is on let's get into this one. Yeah, the sick care. So we're gonna get into sick care, and then we're gonna talk about this Carlee Russell. So I'm saving the Carlee Russell one for later. Now, what's the sick care one? Somebody just sent me. Was that you, E, that sent me the sick care one? Here we go. Boom. Shout out to TT Santier. Wow, that's crazy. I'm so used to calling it TT. Boom, let me get it up. Boom. Here y'all go. Let me get it up. See, relax. You know what I mean? Relax. All right, so this is something that Tahira sent me. My girl Titi, back in the day, one of the greatest athletes to come out of Jersey, especially out of Montclair. But let's listen to this. So this is a primary care physician, a primary care doc, giving his opinion on healthcare, or otherwise known as sick care. So let's take a look.
A primary care physician. I'm frustrated, and it is not what I signed up for. I'm tired of our sick care model. I'm not choosing not to participate. I got in this to help people get well, not harm them, protect them, lead them, teach them. That's not what I'm seeing in the healthcare system. I'm choosing to take a different approach as a doctor for the sake of people that are relying on us to teach them how to be healthy. Someone tell me why. Why don't doctors tell you to take something as simple as magnesium instead of a stool softener, knowing that the stool softener dehydrates your bowels? Why don't doctors tell you to take D3 in the winter? Because you can't get it from the sun. It's gone, depending on where you live in the country. And it radically improves the immune system and impacts your sleep. Why don't doctors tell you to change your diet? You know, when you're having heartburn or indigestion, your body's literally revolting against you. Why don't doctors tell you to focus on herbs or certain foods to heal? Why don't doctors tell you to lower the toxic chemicals that are inside of your house, knowing that it's 100 times more toxic in your house than outside? That might be causing constant headaches or your allergies. All the fragrances and chemicals and the toxic buildup that gets into our cells are what creates these things. Why aren't you informed by your doctor that if you eat something as simple as a grapefruit every day, that it'll support blood pressure naturally and you don't need or might not need a medication? Why doesn't your doctor tell you to take something like an activated charcoal because it just soaks up toxins for like headaches, or maybe you're bloated, or you have skin problems, your gut is backed up, or some kind of food poisoning, because activated charcoal bonds those and removes them from the body. It's real simple. Why don't doctors tell you to use herbs or herbal teas to manage pains or support immune system or support digestive function, knowing that these different herbs can help your organs? Proven. Have a lot of science on it. Why don't they give you something as simple as a probiotic every single day to help support your gut health and your immune health, knowing that we have all these friendly bacteria inside of us that need help? Why don't doctors create diets and lifestyle plans for patients when we know that over 90% of disease is due to lifestyle? Why don't we spend the majority of our time trying to prevent disease instead of treating it? Why don't doctors tell you to take something like a supplement to support your health prior to becoming sick, when we know that supplements and herbs can help prevent these things? Why don't doctors teach you to manage your emotions? Because that stress, that anxiety is going to lead to physical bodily damage, and the strain that you're under can play a significant role in your overall health. Why don't doctors take a real role in helping people be healthy in their lives? Doesn't make sense to me. Why aren't we helping people get healthy instead of taking care of them after they get sick? I think it needs to change. I believe that real health is possible. I believe that you're the solution. I believe that the greatest doctor in the world is inside of you. We're just messing it up. I believe it's possible for you to live good. We're just not getting the right information. If you need help with it, there's a link. I'll post it up for you. It's my book. It breaks it down. It's an Amazon bestseller.
My man said the greatest doctor is inside of you. Think about that. Yeah, so this is a long video. I'm not going to go through the entire thing. But just really wanted to share it with y'all. Because what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? We put these people in such high regards, these doctors, and say like, oh my God, like everything a doctor tells us. And especially if you have, and I don't think it's going to necessarily be the people that are watching this video. And what I mean by that is to say that I think that we're a little bit more aware, or we're not as trustworthy of the healthcare providers as much as our parents. And why do I say that? I talked about it before, where I remember, sitting at the table with all my aunts and uncles, and we're down in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. They all live down there, and my aunts and uncles, and they're talking about the medicine that they take, blood pressure, this, all this stuff, these ailments that seem to destroy Black people a lot more than other cultures. And a lot of it depends on, our habits, what we eat, all these different things. And they're just sitting there telling me like, oh, well, my doctor said to take this for this, or to take that for that. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, yo, have they ever even looked up natural remedies for these type of things? Like if you're taking this for your blood pressure, for your hypertension, for your heart disease, all these different things, have you looked up some natural remedies that you can go about without actually taking a pill, an opioid, all these different things that we're putting in our bodies, whether it's for pain, whether it's for heart disease, all these different conditions, whatever it's for, we don't even look into it. Because why? We just trust our doctors. Oh, my doctor said to take this. Do we understand how this big pharma stuff works? Shout out to Kiki. Kiki wrote, a patient cured is a customer loss. Oh, a patient cured is a customer loss. Big pharma only cares about money. That's a fact. Do we know? And a lot of people, I think that if we're not working in these type of industries, then we don't understand how a lot of this stuff works. Do you know how a doctor determines what medicine, and I'm not saying all of them, but you know, the ones, if anybody did get upset with me for saying this, then they should speak on it, but have that same energy to speak on what they know that is going on in them throughout the majority of the industry. Pharmaceutical companies, this is what they've been traditionally known to do. I'm just being real. Hire a pretty woman, or a nice looking guy, but a pretty woman, young, sexy, attractive, to go around and go into doctor's offices with this particular, you know, drug, and to give samples to the doctors, you know, maybe bring some lunch, some coffee, whatever. And that's how that relationship is started. And even if it's a guy, the guy goes in, it's the same thing. They just give the medicine based on who they like that came in that day, who they like that they have a relationship with, who can they help make some money, because they know that if they give their patients these drugs from this person, then it's helping that person out a little bit. You know, you got to help people out, right? Right or no? So do we think that the doctors are actually going through all the research of what these medicines do, the studies, the white papers? These doctors aren't doing any of that. These doctors aren't doing, and I'm talking about the majority of doctors. There may be, you know, a few that do it, but the majority of doctors are not going through these medicines that they're given, these drugs, and before they distribute them to their patients, they don't know anything about that. You could see it with COVID. The vaccine, you could see it. It happened. It happened. What Pfizer came out talking about, oh, this will stop the spread. It stops the spread. And then they came out and had to admit that they had no idea whether or not it would stop the spread. And a matter of fact, that it doesn't stop the spread. But people can just say whatever they want to sell their product. Have you ever heard somebody selling their product and saying something bad about it? Like, yo, purchase this, but, you know, it don't really work. Or purchase this, it'll kill you, but purchase it. No, that's not good marketing. So therefore, people are going to say and do any and everything to get you to take their medicine, because just like I remember being in the hospital administrator's office and us having a conversation, and he's like, I made a comment and I realized in this moment, like I was looking at this, I was so naive and ignorant in how I was looking at it. And he said, like, what do you mean? Like, we need these beds filled. If our beds aren't filled, then I get fired and we go out of business. Think about that. If people are healthy, he's talking about the hospitals going out of business. That's like somebody in a prison saying, like, yo, we need these people to get locked up. They don't get locked up, we go out of business. It's all a business. And the problem that we make, that I believe that we make, is that we don't understand that these doctors are a business. Their practice is a business. If they're a part of a larger hospital system, it's a business. Shout out to Queez. Queez wrote, easier to take pills instead of changing your diet and cutting out foods you love and exercising. Big Pharma knows this. They know this. They prey on our weaknesses. They prey on our comfort. They prey on our weaknesses. And shame on us for embracing it, for allowing it, and not taking a stand, because all we're doing is passing that same stuff down. And that's why, even going back to the courting contract, what did it talk about? Nutrition. Who's taking the lead in this? We damn near need somebody who's just focusing on the intake, our food intake, our medicine intake, our herbal intake, our supplement intakes. We need somebody who's just focusing on that, especially in the world that we live in right now. We already talked about on the last show how GMO foods are, they're incentivizing farmers to not farm. They're paying them to, hey, hold off on the crops. We got this GMO shit going. Hold off. They're incentivizing farmers to that. Incentivizing farmers. Oh, farmers. That's kind of interesting. We need more pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals. Over pharma. Pharma. Yo, I'm taking that. I may put that on the shirt. Y'all don't try to steal that. Don't try to steal that. It's gonna be farmer over farmer. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the new shirt. Farmer over farmer. You feel me? We may even throw a little pharma, like FARMA, like a little whatever. All right, so that's the main takeaway that I just want y'all to think about, because a lot of times in society we go through it trusting certain individuals. Who we trust in a lot of ways determines our outcome in life. Think about that. Who we trust. The people that we trust can determine the outcome of our lives. Because the people that we trust, a lot of times when we trust something, we let our guard down. We're vulnerable. We accept what they're saying without doing the research. So the people that we trust can a lot of times determine the outlook of where we'll go in life, whether that's positive or negative. So it's very important for us to make sure that we're trusting the right people, and that we're not trusting them just on blind faith, that we're trusting them on results, on understanding like, hey, this is the area that they are responsible for. This is their role. This is their duty. So I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Queez wrote, the earth already gives us the medicines and tools we need for a healthy life. Facts. We got everything that there's no pharmaceutical medicine. You know what pharmaceuticals do? Every single medicine that we need comes from the earth. However, they try to create their own that may not necessarily heal you, but just help out just a little bit in a way that it still would be detrimental to your health. But they just package it in a way that they can make money off of it. That's it. That's it. That's why as soon as they figured out a way, how can we package weed and make some money off of it? Now they don't mind selling weed. They figured out it was prohibition, and they figured out we could we sell the alcohol. As long as big government can financially benefit from it, then they'll allow it. So as long as they can rationalize, benefiting from it in some certain type of way and it not being destructive, that's what they'll put out. It is what it is. All right, so we're going to get into a video. All right, we're going to finish off with this video, and it may be a little, hopefully it's not too long. I'm not going to play too much of it, but we got to talk about this Carlee Russell chick. And I guess I should or I shouldn't say chick. I don't know what it is. I said what I said. I said what I said. Let me go into, hold on. I want to look. I think I already saved one in my watch later. Boom. Because I want to know y'all thoughts. Yes, I did say it. You heard? All right. And then we're going to get into the response by the legendary Dr. Umar. All right. So, all right, let's get into this Carlee Russell lady. I don't want to say chick. All right, let's get into it. Carlee Russell. Boom, right here. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Is this, did y'all know for the jump? I didn't know about this. So I want to be clear. I didn't know anything about her. I didn't hear about the story. And then somebody mentioned it to me and I was like, oh, what's that? I think I did hear about it. So y'all tell me what y'all think.
I want to get back to a story that we have been following all throughout the last few days as it has continued to develop. The loved ones of Carlee Russell, the 25-year-old Alabama woman who went missing after pulling over on the interstate to check on a child, say they are thanking God that she returned home safe. Police say around 10:45 p.m. Saturday, 2 days after her disappearance on I-459, Russell showed up at the front door of the home in Hoover that she shares with her parents. The Hoover police chief saying, quote, she walked up, banged on the door, and that was her. Russell was taken to a local hospital for evaluation and has since been released and is now back with her family. The Hoover Police Department says detectives have spoken to Russell and are continuing their investigation. They say, quote, the details of that statement are a part of the ongoing investigation, which is expected to continue over the next few days. During the initial portion of the investigation, detectives were able to retrace nearly all of Carly's steps until the point she went missing and are confident that will continue to be the case. While the mystery of her disappearance does remain unsolved, her family just says they are grateful that she is now back home. Writing on Facebook Sunday, Talitha Robinson Russell said, quote, God is faithful and he has answered our prayers. We are so grateful to each of you for all the acts of kindness, generosity, and compassion you've shown. Our baby is safe. While Robinson Russell says she understands the attention to the case, she did ask for privacy. Quote, please consider the fact we have not slept for 3 nights and we are mentally and physically exhausted. Russell's boyfriend, Thomar Latrell Simmons, also responded to the news on social media saying, quote, thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for saving my girlfriend's life. I have been going nonstop since I received the call that she was missing on Thursday night. I know she would have done the same for me, so I wasn't going to give up until I saw her face again. Now, the post itself says, I don't even know how to start off this post, but to only say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for saving my girlfriend's life. Also, thank you to everyone who shared a picture, came out to the Hoover Met to help us with the search parties, and who went and proceeded to tell other people about Carly to bring awareness to the story. I have been going nonstop since I received the call. I know she would have done the same for me. So again, the investigation into Carly's disappearance is ongoing, and as we get more details, we will bring those to you live, raw, and unfiltered. That is what we do here on Live Now from Fox.
Yo, and I'm laughing. I really shouldn't be laughing, but she's found now, and I just heard that it was more of like a Jussie Smollett or whatever, Smollett type of situation. It is what it is, but I want to show y'all this other video too, because this was a new one that just came out. So y'all tell me. I wanted to show the first one, but then
Woman could face charges if police determine she lied about her disappearance. Carly Russell disappeared near Birmingham last Thursday after she said she stopped to help a toddler on the side of a highway. She turned up safe at home 2 days later. She claimed she was abducted by a man and forced into a car. Now authorities are questioning her story. Investigators say before her disappearance, Russell Googled Amber Alerts, how to take money from a register without getting caught, and the movie Taken. They also say there are other details that don't add up.
I do think it's highly unusual to the day that someone gets kidnapped, that 7 hours, 8 hours before that they're searching the internet, Googling the movie Taken about an abduction. I find that very strange, yes. To think that a toddler, barefoot, that could be 3 or 4 years old, is going to travel 6 football fields without getting in the roadway, without crying, without any just moving down. It's just very hard for me to understand.
Investigators say they have asked to speak with Russell again, but her parents say she is not in any mental state to talk.
Oh, wait, hold up.
Damn, Charlamagne, who got the donkey of the day today? Well, just hilarious, donkey.
Hold up. Oh, I didn't even know. Hold up, my fault. I'm on mute this whole time. Didn't even know. Yo, hold up. We got to play that. We got to run that back because I didn't know what that video was. So I think even, hold up. I think Charlamagne responded to it. Oh, she got donkey of the day. Hold on. We got to hear this.
She may not be telling the truth, but it seems that doubt has been cast on her story. Now, maybe you have no idea about the story of Carly Russell. Let me refresh your memory. Let's go to WVTM News Channel 13 for the original report, please.
An urgent search tonight for Carly Russell. The
All right, no, we're not doing all that. We're not doing all that. Yo, so that was more so like, yo, what? Believe women, right? This is why you can't have these dumbass statements where it's just like believe this person because of this, or just believe. It's like saying believe white people, believe women. Why? No, there's a process that things go through. If we just, you know how many people would be unfairly, falsely accused of certain things and locked up for certain crimes that they did not commit if we just went about just believing all women? Like, I don't even understand how that makes sense. And to be totally honest, it's only something that you feel when you're not actually in the situation. But when your dad or your brother or your nephew or your uncle gets accused of something that you know that was wrong, hell no, we ain't believing all women. You don't believe all men. There's a process. There's the process that things have to go through. And then, we always talk about the whole innocent until proven guilty. But with this just seems like some nut shit. I'm gonna be honest. This just seems like some nutty behavior. I heard that she broke up with her boyfriend or something. Her boyfriend cheated on. I don't even know. I don't even want to get into that. The main thing that I want to get into is I want to bring up Dr. Umar and his comments on it, because I think that it's worth noting. When we talk about accountability and all these other areas, I think that it needs to be addressed. And I think in Dr. Umar, he took down the video that I was initially going to put up. However, I found it on Anton's page. So Anton, he put it up. So I want y'all to just peep some of this. We'll go through it and then we'll finish it up and wrap up with it. So y'all tell me. Let's get this going. Shout out to
good
Anton.
brother, Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, I am very. I want to see what
of the Most High God. We got the ancestors to help us.
Dr. Umar Johnson's perspective was on this.
My sister who was kidnapped in Alabama. I'm calling on the ancestors to help us find our sister. With the blessing and approval and the energy and power of the Most High God, we got to bring our sister back. She pulled over on the side of a road because she saw a toddler Thursday or Wednesday evening.
Chill. Yo, hold up.
I was sure, if I didn't know anything, and to my surprise,
I want to get this.
Ladies and gentlemen, peace and Pan-Africanism, y'all. Let's continue.
Let me give Anton
this woman was
Anton,
looking for a toddler on the side of the road. Peace and Pan-Africanism, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and Pan-Africanism, y'all. Let's continue.
We getting serious now. We talking about Sister Carlisha, is it? Sister Carlisha, kidnapped. She pulled over on the road in Alabama the other night. She's home? Is she home? Yeah. Brothers and sisters. Is she home? Can somebody says she's home. Is she home? They found her. Where was she? Where was she, brothers and sisters? Where was she? Thank God, our sister has been found.
Hey, yo, this is why sometimes you ain't got, I know I'm talking to myself as well. You ain't got to, sometimes let the details come out a little bit before we start.
Can somebody tell me, where did they find her? Where did they find Sister Carlisha?
Walking home, eating granola bars and Cheez-Its with a robe on and some toilet paper that she stole from work and $107 in her sock. That's where she was, my nigga.
In Alabama. Can somebody tell me where they found her? Where was she? Was she kidnapped? Was she asleep? Where was she? Where was she? Can somebody tell me, where was she? Thank God our sister is home safe. Thank God our sister is home safe. Thank God our sister, where she just showed up, so the kidnappers let her go free.
It don't make sense.
Kidnappers let her go free.
Hold on, and there's a reason why I'm playing this, because I wanted y'all to see the build up to what he then ends up doing as far as where he places the blame with all this. All right, so just bear with me.
I think the kidnappers let her go free. And guess who I think the kidnappers was? Are y'all ready for this, brothers and
Tell us. Tell us.
Guess who I think the kidnappers were? The
Tell
sun is
us.
coming
Who
up.
is
Yes,
it?
indeed. Leo season in 6 days.
He gonna start trying to avoid the. Just tell us who.
Tell us. Who is the kidnappers?
6'3" North Philly Beard. How am I looking this morning?
Who
To
was
my
the
queens
kidnappers?
out there,
Tell us who the
6'3"
kidnappers
North
were.
Philly Beard. Am I looking okay? Is the gold pop? Is the African gold popping right now, ladies? Is the African gold
All I want to
popping
know is
right
who the
now? That's all.
kidnappers were, Doc.
Is the African gold? Listen,
Tell us. Tell us. Tell us.
listen.
Okay, I'm listening.
The U.S. government. I know y'all don't want to hear this because you just celebrate the 4th of July.
Oh my fucking God! This is
The United States government, the police, services, foster care system, juvenile judicial system, they are all complicit. They are all complicit. They are all complicit in the sexual kidnapping of black women and children.
What's that got to do with this?
What are we talking about?
They decided to let her go because they got scared. Our sister is home because they got scared. Oh, yes.
He don't even look comfortable saying.
Because she is really the first case I've seen, Sister Carlisha. She the first case that I've seen of a kidnapped black woman where the black community went.
I'm not even gonna comment right now. Honestly, the chat is doing this
Hold up.
shit
Come on.
justice
Ed,
like
I
I've
wanted
never
to
seen
finish
before.
what he's saying.
I'm not even.
He's about to say. I think he's about to say, this is the first time where a black woman went missing and the community got behind it. Hold on.
Sure that it's worth me commenting right now. I see y'all super chats. I'm gonna be getting to them shortly. Curious.
Come on, son.
Curious. Is this the person that y'all want leading y'all? At this point, it is the Foster, y'all, because they knew she is the first black woman that white people wanted to kidnap, and so as a result, can I get a actually built that? God.
Y'all did a good job. I commend everybody. So we got to start going all out. Y'all did a good job. I commend everybody. We have to go all out for every kidnapped black child, every kidnapped.
All right, so this is why I'm bringing this up, because this is what happens when you just believe everything just based on, oh, I believe them because they're black, period. And then you got to rationalize everything based on that, just believing on because they're black, rather than just looking at that particular situation for that particular situation. He's over here blaming all this other stuff, and there's no accountability. And that's what happens a lot, I feel like, in our culture, in our community. When we just draw a line and say, hey, I don't care, I'm just believing them because they're black, or I don't care, I'm just believing them because they're a woman, it takes away from the credibility of the situation. Now, you know, you have him going off talking about the government, talking about all this other stuff. Let's say that she did make it up. This is going to hinder real situations. Let's say that, let's look at it like this. While the police were looking for her, if she did make this up, I'm saying if she did, while the police and everybody's looking for her, what other situations happened that they weren't able to address? We talk about now how there's not enough police out, right? Not enough police, right? Okay. So if the police are wasting time looking for some BS, that takes away from, let's say somebody else was actually missing. Let's say somebody else was missing besides Carly. Or let's say somebody else needed a police assistance at their home. That was now taken away because somebody hypothetically, or not hypothetically, allegedly made up something. Think about that. That's something that has to be taken into account. So if she did lie, charge her straight up. If she lied, she needs to be facing charges, because you just can't do shit like that. And there has to be certain precedent standard set that people won't play around like that. People won't play around and just be accusing certain people of it, because you never know how far the lie is going to go. What if, to save herself, that she just ended up blaming somebody who didn't even do it? I believe she said, didn't she say like the person had like orange hair or something like that? So it sounded goofy as far as what I heard. However, at what point would it have stopped that? At what point will it stop that? We still don't know what she's going to do to get out of this situation that she's in. We still don't even know the case with the Jussie Smollett. We don't know. So that's just, one of those things where we have to stop blanketing stuff. Excuse me. Stop blanketing certain stuff. Just believe this because of that. Just believe this because of that. Nah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. I'm a free thinker. Look at every situation the same. Because if we don't look at every situation the same, we'll end up complaining about the very same situations that we complained about before, right? Emmett Till, believe all women, right? Believe all women. Oh, believe all women until it's a situation that impacts your life. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to put that out there, show how, sometimes with Umar, that's my guy and everything, but, bro be losing it sometimes, man. Bro be just more so just trying to prove his point rather than actually taking a step back and just evaluating the situation for what it is. And I get it. It seemed like he got caught up. He didn't really know what was going on, felt that he had to say this, felt that he had to say that. Who knows? I guess it'll come out. It'll come out, the story that she, what the story was, but especially when it comes to me, because I've seen that firsthand where people get accused of certain things. And if it wasn't for a video coming out or this or that, it could really impact people's lives significantly. So that's where I stand on that. Yeah. So just wanted to touch on that. I feel like I should have saved that one. I should have used that one early on, so that way we could finish off on a light note. But it is what it is. This is what we got going on. We talked about a bunch of different topics. Still didn't get to all the videos, but it's all good. I'll say the video that I've been wanting to show y'all for a few days, we'll attack that later on. But starting from Sukihana, going to the school system, how we're programmed. With the Sukihana thing, I would just say, we got to start holding ourselves to our standard, our ideals. We got to change that. When it comes to the school, we got to start understanding how we are being programmed in every area of life. We're getting programmed. We're getting played. We're getting manipulated. Sick care, another thing. More doctors. We need y'all to step up and stand up for a lot of these things. Stand up for what is it called? The doctor's oath that y'all take, the Hippocratic oath, I think it's called. Yeah, stand on that. Stop. Don't just allow yourself to be a part of the system. It's like anything else. Oh, well, I didn't start slavery, but I just participated. It was just what was going on. Nah. You're at fault. You're at fault. So if you don't stand up and speak on this stuff and challenge yourself and hold yourself and the doctors that you work with to a higher standard of care, then you have to be held liable for this too. Then we talked about Kiki and Jonah Hill. Kiki, come on, let's get it together. Let's stop reaching. Going home. Stop. Don't fall victim to this society that we live in right now, and to all those entertainers and all the likes that you're getting, and from all these simps that's telling you that your dude is corny and all this other stuff. All right, let's look at things the right way. We touched on the Jonah Hill situation. Shout out to Jonah Hill. We stand with you, Jonah. And then Carly Russell. All right, so nice little lineup. Good little lineup for us. And I think that the main takeaway for today is to focus on our ideals. All right, to focus on our standards, to focus on our ideals, and almost see it as a journey. Where we are right now, we've talked about this before, where we are right now and where we want to get to, what type of person that we want to become, embracing that person. Let's start seeing ourselves as that person now So that way, as we move forward in life, it'll almost happen with our assumptions, with our imagination, all these different things, because we'll just more naturally fall into place with our new standards, with our ideals. So that way we can get to where we want to get to. So we'll do our 20 seconds and then we'll let you go for the weekend. But 20 seconds, just focusing on certain areas that we want to change our ideals in. You know, maybe focus on one, lock in on one. And if you do, and if you do need that courting contract, not dating, courting, for the serious inquiries, however you say that, only. All right. So let's lock in 20 seconds, just focusing on one area in life that we're just gonna elevate our ideals in. Last breath. Me, I looked at my stoicism. I want to increase my ideals and how I respond to certain situations and how I carry myself throughout life. Be more stoic. I don't have the book with me; it's down in Miami. But be more stoic. That's what I'm gearing towards. You can see my energy just came down with the stoicism. But yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Shout out to Aaron, she tuned in. We got something dope coming for y'all. I don't even want to share too much until we record our first episode. But I'm super excited for what E has cooking up, and welcoming her into this OG Network family. So with that, onward and upward, strength and honor. Get to the bag with integrity, of course. It's Friday. Let's make sure that we're finishing everything that we started. All right, and remember, farmer over farmer. Farmer over farmer. All right, that's the new shirts. Queez, man, love you, brother. Love all y'all. And yeah, I'll see y'all next week. Onward and upward.